prince in hell as she's searching for a kill. She's on a mission to find a victim. She likes to taste the blood. She's on the prowl tonight. She who wants alone tonight. She's the one with the killing eyes. She who walks alone tonight. She's the one with the killing eyes. She's got the kill in her eyes. She's got the kill. As she stares into the broken glass, shattered memories of sin. She's on a thrill. All right, gents, Mysterio from Winnipeg, laying it down to Chinatown. Megatron, Jawara, the author, selling his books in Walmart for $300. David Castro, Sultan is back in our graces. Happy Saturday, Rad and gang. Hope you're all well. Mile High Ronin, salute to you as well. T-Tox is back. Where are T-Tox? Good to have you. Good to be with all you men. So let's talk about it. I think this is the number one key for men to move forward. It's the bitterness of the pill when you first swallow it, realizing everything you learned and thought was real or truth turns into not the case, right? You realize that you find out she's not yours, it's just your turn, or if you believe in that scenario, and there's a lot of evidence that supports that. You believe, you learn about hypergamy, you believe that you learn about Brifault's law, you learn about the system, the programming that's been around both in the educational realm, the religious realm, the romantic relationship realm, the court system, the government. Red pill is everything that encapsulates all of those pillars. And then when you realize that you've been lied to, I don't know, is it being lied to, or you've been programmed in a way that programming really didn't tell you the truth. And a lot of guys struggle with this. A lot of guys, I know at first I struggled with it, right? You struggle with it because you cannot believe that everything you grew up with, this fantasy, this programming, could turn into something so bitter. And that, my friends, is what keeps men and potentially women from moving forward in life. Not wanting to swallow that bitter pill, not knowing something's not right with relationships with women, but not wanting to believe it. They know it, they don't want to believe it, they don't want to use that to their advantage. And that's why it's so bitter. This is the number one issue why men in this space, or that find out, do not move on. Brandon Trueblood driving his truck. I won't read that, but good to have Brandon. We got Hemi back. Polska. Polska is in the house, delivering flowers and not waffling. Stephen, Arizona, I still want the blue pill dream, but wise enough and red pilled enough to understand it'll never happen. I think, and I think a lot of guys feel the same way. That would be a wonderful world to live in if everything that we thought was right panned out. And that's the problem we have. It's never going that. And that's being truthful with ourselves, truthful with the reality around us. Mysterio, I saw from at least 2020, we now have an area that men and women can learn about what works between the sexes. Now there's no excuse that anyone can get stuck anymore. Yeah, and women can learn about men and men can learn about women. Right? There's really no, you learn. If you cannot take that knowledge, or knowledge as the Beastie Boys say on Paul's Boutique, if you cannot take that knowledge and parlay it into a better life, and you're still stuck, you're scared to take that medicine. You're scared to take that step. And that step is a very difficult step. And those men that are in here, for the most part, have taken that step. And those that potentially might listen to this down the road. There's guys that email me, text me. I'm sure they do that with you guys or make comments that are still stuck. They've got one foot in the blue pill world and then the other foot in that red pill ideal. And it just, they waffle based on how they feel that day. Or if they get a woman that smiles at them at a grocery store at the Starbucks and they think, oh my gosh, this red pill stuff, that's not all true. It's not all true. And it might not be true for that person. There's a 98% that I say are not worth it. They're not valuable. They bring nothing to the table. They're all of the red flags that we've talked about. There is a 1% to 2%, and I'm not a fatalist. But finding that person is very difficult. And if you still found that person, you need to vet the person. And you wouldn't be chasing for that person. That person would fall into your life. And then you'd have to vet, and then you'd have to still continue with those pillars of the philosophy. No marriage, no cohabitation, no kids. And no providing. Each person has their own space. They have their own money. They have their own lives. Polska might be waffling a little bit yet. PH, blue pills are taken by those who aren't strong enough to take the full truth. And there's a lot of guys in this space that pop on these channel that really they want to believe this. But that fantasy in their brain, that fantasy in that amygdala just won't let them. And that's why they suffer. That's why they keep getting on Tinder. That's why they keep thinking that next relationship is going to work out. When they know deep down, she's not yours, it's just your turn. And that's okay. It might take a long time for folks to get here. Well said, PH. Good to have you. The realization that everything you thought and believed about love was a lie. This shutters your reality. Yeah. And then when you realize this, you can go back through your life and start looking at clues that maybe were there, but we just didn't notice them. But then we do notice, did she really do that? Did she really love me? And you question everything. I don't think that's a bad thing, but it is what it is. Well said, Sultan. T-Tox. Sometimes the cold hard truth is so damn difficult to accept. I would agree with that statement. We'll leave the light on. For he B.O.B.'s Bobs. Oh, Polska. I think that's what you mean. Mile High Ronin in the house. Pars says, you know what they say, it's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. Yeah. Well said. I think you're right. Most people don't want to accept the truth in anything. Their feelings dictate how they're going to move forward in life, right? That's a stumbling block. That is, you've got to get through that bitterness, and you've got to believe that you can have a better life, even knowing that this programming has screwed everything up. It's not hard to look around. Look at the divorce rate. Look at the relationships. Look at the monetization now. Look at the sexual dynamics in the marketplace. They don't exist. Everything we thought would be where we were today, 25, 30 years ago, or it's not the same. YYJJ says the red pill is a hard eat because the West is conditioned to value women purely based on the fallacy that women never bully or use force. They are totally innocent, naive creatures. Yeah, that's another thing. How are we programmed to view and interact with women, right? They could never do those things. Well, wait till you get to divorce court, and you'll find a wife after 18 years is someone you never even knew. Vetting is the conduit to baseline to what a person will always do. Baseline is reality after over vetting. Absolutely, Mysterio. Americus DeVille is back. Good to see Americus. MGTOW for the win. Never fall for anything. You know that when you see a magic trick that's amazing, there's mechanics behind it based on physics or sleight of hand, or he's getting you in that area of your vision that you can't see, but you think you see. And you realize when the trick, if you ever find out how a magic trick is done, you're like, holy shit, how could I not have seen that or understood that? It looks so real, but it's so fake. Only if you want to marry and having kids will change your life, and you have to see it coming. Again, follow what Jonathan Noble Esquire says. Just keep separate residences, separate lives, and come together and enjoy each other. Young Peasy back. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure, America. Get your passports. Best thing I can tell these guys is, if you go through it, if you lose everything, what do you think of all the Vans products? They're all woke, although I do wear Vans. They have a Pride collection, which is interesting. I'm going to be streaming again after I pick my next load. Attaboy. Mark Twain. Blue pill alphas and blue pill simps. I know plenty of them who can attract women, but it always ends the same with them getting played every time. They never learn, do they? Let's see. Brandon out laying loads, taking the loads. Red pill doesn't exist. It's just a state of not taking the blue pills given out by the culture to provide comfort. We don't want to know the truth. There's something about understanding the truth that will ruin us, especially with religious people. A lot of religious people can't look from the outside in and realize maybe what they've believed for 50 years is not really accurate. Maybe there's something else. Maybe they've been told things that aren't true. Which do you think has the higher percentage? Till death do you part, or till divorce do you part? That's the easy one. I do like what PH said here. I'm going to reread this. The red pill doesn't exist. It's just the state of not taking the blue pills given out by culture to provide comfort from reality. Yeah, I think that's great. We just classify this as under a red pill, but I think you're right. It's just unlearning what we've learned, or unremembering. Does anyone here have knowledge of the white pill? I don't know anything about it. There's been so many damn colors of the red pill. Is there a Tutti Frutti one? Passport gang. Guys, get your passport. It's wonderful. Visiting countries. Jonathan Noble refuses to marry. Do you blame him? The guy has seen everything. He's got more knowledge and experience and he could of marriage than any marriage counselor. Monk mode might not be for everyone, but you'll be immune from usury. Trust me, you gave 2 houses away before I learned my lesson. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being monk and being on your purpose, on your joy, especially guys that are coming out and they swallow, they've been divorced or they're going through divorce. They've been left with nothing, no house, no money, no kids. They have to start over. The best thing they can do is, and I say this all the time, if there is no money, it's difficult, get into trucking, just get away and start going after it. Go for a year, stack up. Live in your cab, haul your ass, make a lot of money pulling loads. That's a wonder that you can do that extremely quick. Shine Custom says, I got a beer and chips, chilling in the shop, listening great knowledge, peaceful and by myself. Peace, quiet, and freedom, Travis. Good to have you. Do it the Jonathan Noble way. Absolutely. If I was the world emperor, I would make separate law books for women and men because men bully with force and women bully with mental gymnastics. It should be a felony for women to give advice to women. That'd be a great book. Do you think game works long term? No, in the Unstoppable Force. Game and frame do not work in court. Game, especially in the Unstoppable Force, a lot of dating coaches talk about game. I mean, their versions of game, my versions of game, my version of, if you really want game, you got to be masculine. You've got to be confident. That's all game is. If you try to use some line, some little tidbit of language to get somebody to give you your phone number, that's deceit. Just go up to someone and say, hey, my name is so-and-so. What's your number? I'd like to meet you. It's as simple as that. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for that crap. Looking back at my life, there were many moments of red pill. However, my mind simply couldn't register. The fantasy was too strong. Well said. And that's what we're talking about. Your mind can't register it. Your brain brings it to you on a platter, says, here's the truths of the situation. Here are the lies. The truths outweigh the lies. And it's the mind accepting it. The mind and the feelings and the perceptions that we've built over time, that programming, that's where we struggle. And men struggle. And those are the guys that run back to marriage, right? Once you've been taken over by the coals, you'll start to get pissed and then realize. Well said, T-Tox. America says, and no joint bank accounts. Yes. keep everything separate. I've lost so many people in my life from being so red-pilled. Maybe someday they will catch up, says James Miller. Well, you're not alone, my brother. It does become lonely. Well, if you're used to a lot of friends that are in the blue pill world, absolutely. And that's why we find each other. And then when we realize we can be happy being alone, being with people that understand us, or being just, we build that life back by associating with people with similar values. I can't hang out with a lot of blue pill people. Is Noble a fatalist? I don't think he's a fatalist. No, I think he's trying to help folks to know the risks and the rewards of marriage. And I think he sides on the side of caution, which is not marry. America's in court. A man is a sitting duck. Truth. The fantasy will come true as soon as those memory erasing pens from Men in Black are available. Gotcha. Who else we got? The Unstoppable Force says, David Smith, hey, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Gabe doesn't stop her from leaving the Unstoppable Force, and that's the thing. That's the thing. There is no, I don't believe in this game. Again, women like confidence. They like mystery. They like indifference. However you package it, with your body, with your looks, with your clothes, is how you do it. But you got to be real around it. Proverbs 31:10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The Good Book for 300 Trebek. Lot of pills in the Good Book. Red pills only taste bitter because we have been fed a lifetime of oversweetened half-truths by society. Ooh, PH laying it down to Chinatown. Absolutely. That is a terrific statement. Red pills only taste bitter because we have been fed a lifetime of over-sweetened half-truths by society, which is the same as saying strong men come out of hard times versus weak men come out of good times, right? So think about this. You're going to struggle, and those that are listening to this for the first time or the second time or just understanding this thinking, it's tough. It's tough to move your life in the direction away from what we were programmed and thought before. It's difficult. Like, I get it. And that's why you have to reinforce, watch other people, listen to other people, and understand their experiences. And things come together quick. My friends are always trying to hook me up with liberal feminists. I told them to stop. Feminists are very easy to get in bed. I'll tell you that, regardless. Again, at the end of the day, women seek strong confidence, regardless of what their liberal mental disorders are. For the most part, don't even deal with them, but they're not, I've never had an issue with them. They're just dumb as rocks. The RP is definitely hard for American men because prostitution is illegal, and really a lot of men realize that all they need is a dog and some hookers. Well, now it's monetized, right? YYJJ? It's monetized in the sense that now OnlyFans, sugar daddying, escorts are available for men, and men get a wonderful product, especially with the escorts. They want repeat business, so they're going to give a great product, which is their service. So you'll come back and tell your friends, and everything else is transactional. It's transactional in modern day relationships. It's transactional in marriage. In fact, the transactions in marriage are more expensive than what you could get on the outside of marriage. I believe in AWOL, especially when you factor in the scientific evidence, the unstoppable force. All women are like that. There's definitely, there's some truth to that statement. There's some truth to that statement. Nacho Poontang for 200 Trebek. What cheese is not yours? Nacho cheese. Women are like Bitcoin, can crash at any time. The unstoppable force. There's nothing. The only thing that will endure forever are death and taxes. I have never met one decent outside of family. There, a lot of decency is hard. I mean, I see a lot of friends of mine that are dating women, or they've remarried on their second and third marriage, and it's like they just married the same person with a different name. The same struggles exist, guys. Do you want to have peace, quiet, and freedom? And if that's the case, you better understand what this means, what the experience is, what the knowledge is when you're moving forward if you want a woman in your life. It's as simple as that. Rad is not a fatalist. There are 1% to 2%, but you got to vet them. You've got to understand the pillars. I'm not saying to marry. I'm not saying to go fall in love. I don't believe in love. I believe in actions. Simple as that. Now, do you really need it this life? And I agree with Greg Adams and everybody else that says dating is weird in your 40s and 50s and 60s. It is weird. It's weird in your 30s. You should be only dating between the ages of 18 and 28, really. And then you get married and have kids. It's so weird now. It's so weird. It's so weird. Who said that? It's so weird. If anyone, the older men will know who that is. It's so weird. Quran quote, Noah and Lot were two of our righteous servants, yet their wives betrayed them. God warns us in the Quran of both good and bad women. You know, why is that? Why does the Bible also warn? Why does the Torah? Americus DeVille, absolutely. I'll sell in the box. What's going to happen when there's an over supply of box? David Castro, yo quiero pollo. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Pizza or burger, Rebel? I would go for the burger today. Huge fan of the classic American burger. Attaboy, America, he with me. Andrew Rees is back. Good to see Andrew. Good day, your Royal Radness. Good show. Good to have you back. Spit your knowledge out. In Islam, you can get married without a legal marriage. It's called nikah, but many Muslim women want legal marriage. Female nature. Remember back when it was only marriage through the church, not through the state. John Travolta, attaboy, Polska. It's so weird. It's so weird. You remember what show that was? Give me the show. Israelites believe that sex is the marriage covenant. We're not supposed to have sex until we get married, right? And that back when, I mean, geez, my grandparents got together. I don't think he kissed her till the wedding night. James Miller, laying it down in Chinatown. Listen to this statement by James. This, I think, sums it up. Nothing is more expensive than being blue-pilled. Think about the expense, the financial expense, the emotional expense, the mental, the spiritual sense of the expense of all of those things. It's not just financial. And that's why I try to, we talk about the amount of finances, but the amount of finances is trumped by the mental and emotional state that somebody that is blue pill goes through. Well said, James. That's a great statement right there. You can't feed a red pill to a boy or a young man, but a blue pill comes down so easily. It's like a jelly belly, right? It's like a blueberry jelly belly. Oh, they're so good. The desire to marry, I think, is put apron because it's supposed to get rid of the fantasy of loneliness. The fantasy of loneliness. Is loneliness think about this, guys. Vinny Barbarino. Yo, it's so weird. It's so weird. Red Pill of the Wind is in the house. Good to see you. Yep. Welcome back, Kata. Attaboy. That's what I'm looking at. It's so weird. It's so weird. The only undying love I believe in anymore is the one I have for my kids. And I think you're right. I mean, and it's been proven that women that get married and have kids, they love the kids a million times more than they'll ever love the men. And I think that's where it falls apart. I think that's where marriages fall apart. When that woman gets impregnated, she starts feeling the connection with that living organism within her that becomes a child. She loves the man. The man is then discarded. The moment conception begins, the man is basically done if you're starting a marriage. He is at the end of the line, even after her mother. That's a lot of shopping sprees, man. For me, without the expectation of raising children, dating and marriage is pointless. Absolutely. The Unstoppable Force says, if a man doesn't have kids, is he missing out? Well, programming would say you're missing out. The blue-pilled world would say you're missing out, but I don't think so. What is more important to you, having your sanity or being destroyed mentally, emotionally, and physically by not being able to see your kids? Men self-delete just because of that. Consummation of marriage by sex is still a legal standard. Oh, the irony in 2022. Absolutely, PH. CJ in here. Love is bias. Love is whatever you believe it is. It's not what Hallmark says it is. A man is supposed to build his family, but I see a lot of men don't want kids. Men are allowed to be single in Scripture. Paul said to the married men, stay married. And to the single men, he said, stay single. 1 Corinthians for 300 Trebek. Sign as means. John Travolta as Vinnie Barbarino. It's so weird. He doesn't even remember. Welcome back, Carter. I get bitter every time I dropped 125 on dinner while she sat on her hands, says Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor. Timmy down in the AZ. 100%, guys. Listen to Timmy. His uncle told him never to marry in 18. 40 years later, under 40 years later, what happens? He's seen 3, 4, 5, 10 friends go through their 3rd, 4th, and 5th divorces. Ain't worth it, folks. For what? The box? Smash burger or frozen patty? I'm going to have to say I do like smash burger. Yeah, let's go smash burger. I'm too lazy to make a frozen patty. Like I said, $40 limit on dates. He did. I think 5 Years of Freedom West says that as well. Yeah, we got smash burger going down like Chinatown. I think that's good advice. I would agree with that statement. I mean, $40 is nothing. It's like 2 drinks and an appetizer. Who cares? You could spend $40 at a crappy dinner by yourself in a crappy movie with popcorn. At least you can view and experiment with female nature in front of you. Unstoppable Force, I had self-deletion thoughts after my breakup. Bad place to be. Female hypergamy is crazy. And then when you come out of it, right, this is something that's very important, the Unstoppable Force says. It's the acceptance of realizing it. It's the acceptance of accepting the fact that what she did destroyed a marriage, destroyed a friendship, destroyed a relationship, hurt you. Infidelity, it will cut you to your core. I've been there. And so what do? You understand it. You understand you're not alone. And this is another thing. Men that have been through this, that have gotten through it, that haven't self-deleted, and I completely understand why men do that. But once you understand and accept it, then you realize I'm not given power anymore. This happens all the time. You're not the only man this happens to. I guarantee Brady's wife was in the same place. I bet she's been thrown down to Chinatown with some folks. Tom Brady's wife. TC. Seeing children every other weekend sucks for their fathers. Yeah, guys, don't do it. And even though my youngest is going to be graduating next year, it's, when I don't have him for those 5, we're on a 14 nights, so we split it up. But when he's gone for those 5 nights, I miss him. I mean, it's weird. It's not worth it. I've been able to adjust. And we text and we call and so forth, and I'll take him to lunch when I don't have him, and it's fine. And me and the ex get along with that regard, and she takes him or whatever. But it still sucks not having your kids. You're supposed to, when you have kids, you're supposed to be with them every night. Think about that. Carl says, Rad, what's the year of your exit to other countries? 2023, next year. You guys can all meet me down. We'll have a wonderful event. Default setting is chaos and destruction. Yep. I always say this. No, I won't say it. Hi, Rad. To all the guys that don't commit to them, focus on yourself first. Jedi Dark Force, well said, brother. Good to have you. Definitely. Strong statement right there, Jedi. My friend is so blue-pilled. He just started trucking. He paid most of the bills. His wife is at home with her phone, and he don't see the reality. He's trying to mess up my freedom. Ed Leargue. Well, when he's away and working, she's playing. I'll tell you that. Good to see you, Ed. Hope you're doing well, brother. The Unstoppable Force, your videos saved my life. And my life was saved by guys like Big John, even TFM, Barbarossa, Paul Proteus, back in the days. And this is why we do it. Every man should have you should have a channel, The Unstoppable Force. You should talk about what you've been through. You can't imagine how many lives you will save just by putting your story up. I think one of the strongest, I only started this channel. I said, if 50 or 100 people listen to me, I did something. I helped somebody. I shared my experience, and hopefully somebody could share that with somebody. And now, this is why I do it. I don't believe in any monetization. I will not accept anything. And we do it to share with each other. And it helps me. It's really therapy for me to work with guys and connect with guys online like yourselves. Mysterio, Timmy's buddies that he golfs with had 7 divorces between them. Yes, he's had so many of them. And again, Blue Pill Fantasy for 300. Yes, email me or call me if you guys are thinking about any sort of thing like that. Appreciate that, Joar. rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. Crimson Pill Chill. Red isn't for everybody, but it woke me up from the matrix of modern dating and relations. You know what? You're right about that. You don't have to go through this. We only say peace, quiet, and freedom comes, and good to have you, and tell me where you're from, Crimson Pill. We only do this. You don't have to accept it. It's the same thing with Neo in the Matrix. He chose to accept the red pill, right? You could learn about it. You could experience people that have been through it, but you don't have to accept it. You can go back to the thinking and you can try to figure it out. We know that it's not going to work out, but hey, everybody has to figure it out on their own. There is no such thing as recruiting. The only thing I'm missing now is the credit card swipes I didn't know were coming. Ha! People have more money and more peace and quiet and freedom when they digest the red pill. We had one bank. She had her own bank account, so she paid a lot of the stuff, like the kids' Christmas or the kids' birthday presents. They go to birthday parties, all of her hair and makeup appointments, and she did it on her own. And then our joint account was the house, food, vacations, clothing, school costs. You do that by not signing contracts with both signatures. One contract, one person, one signature. Well said. Don't put your signature with anyone else. And I wouldn't even co-sign for kids. Been with 4 girls. They've all done the same thing to me. You're not special, the unstoppable force. There's a lot of guys just like you. And that's the cool thing about this. We all are similar. No co-signers. Absolutely. Brad, we see some clothing products from you. I want a nice hoodie and cap. We'll have to see. The most painful thing is not the divorce or even the lost money or property. It's the pain of losing our kids. That's what drove me to accept the red pill reality for my own sanity. Guys, it's devastating to not see your kids or hear from them, not know where they're at, even though you lived with them for 12 years, 14 years. Turkey. Love me some turkey. America says no pork products. MGTOW Forever's back. It's been a while. MGTOW Forever out of California. MGTOW Forever's got a channel. Good to see you, brother. Even my aunt called me today just checking on me to see if I give in, but I don't take advice from a woman when they don't know how to be a man with no successful relationship. Well done, Ed. Well done. Why do studies state that married men with kids live longer than single men? Men love to give. Men love to give of their heart, especially to their offspring. The problem with raising kids today is the partner you're raising them with and the government. You spank a child and you're going to be apprehended. My dad had a belt and a stick, and we were good. He burnt the stick. The stick never came back, but the belt was always on. We learned pretty quick. Now that's considered abuse. But to raise a child with the mother of the child in today's culture is not recommended. Do you know why? Most of those women were raised by women like my ex who wanted to be friends with their kids. And the majority of women want to be friends with their kids. They don't want to be seen in a light that is unfavorable. When that happens, one parent becomes the friend and one parent becomes the enforcer. I was the enforcer and liked structure and routine and discipline if they got out of line. That's how I grew up. You can't do that today because the woman will not allow you to be buddies. Well, she wants to be buddies with the kid. That does not represent a nuclear family to help those kids launch themselves in life. There has to be two people on the same program. Dude, I always have a shitload of salami and cheese in my fridge. Not a big salami guy. I don't know what it is. BJ Fornash is in. Greetings from Ohio, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, Columbus, Cincinnati, Toledo. Worldwide, absolutely. Single men enjoy life while married men live healthy to live long and enjoy their family. Well, if they can have their family. MGTOW Cowboy, he's not trucking today, or maybe he is. Good to see you, brother. Watched a couple of your videos. Didn't lay a comment, but I liked what I saw the last couple of them. Good channel there for MGTOW Cowboy. When Bob's with them, they're both waffling. Right, MGTOW Forever? Wives make husbands go to the door so disease and illness is found and treated earlier. Cesar is in the house. We are a family in this world. We help each other. We experience what others have experienced, or we help people not to experience what we have experienced. It's really that simple. Guys, there's risks and rewards in the blue pill. Basically, healthy and boring, single men go and have fun. I've been both, man. I have been both. And I'll tell you, I do enjoy a lot. I do enjoy my life now versus how difficult it was to keep her happy. The Unstoppable Force, I kind of figured it out down the road. I wanted to stay together for the family. I thought that was important, but yeah, I figured after the kids were gone, it wouldn't work. Some say that Polska's vocabulary is not expansive enough to waffle. No waffling. Life is getting better by the days. That's not my problem anymore. It's her loss. I'm beginning to accept it, but I'm not there yet. It takes time. Well said, Ed. Well said, Ed. Older women spending billions a year trying to look young again. Youth and beauty for 300, Trebek. Stone Reaper in the house. Good to see Stone. PH says women never fully separate from their mothers, even when married. Well, my daughter, I would say my daughter has a lot of power over her mother, because my daughter was never really parented after the age of 12 because if dad enforced a rule or to make her do her chores, mom would jump in front and call me controlling and abusive. Juara says, Madonna looking gross, still twerking. You know, attention and the validation of wanting to be that youthful, like a virgin Madonna has got to be just tearing her apart. The mental delusion is through the roof. And if you had a hedge fund that invested in mental delusion of women, you'd probably be the first trillionaire. I like to say now, G-Tao, go your own way, or G-Yao, go your own way. My godmother thinks I'm picky with women. When her daughter got married, the pastor asked all the parents of the bride to stand up. All four parents stood up in different rows of the church. What's the Modern Family? The Modern Family's got like 3 different sets of grandparents. So An Army of Darkness is a fun movie, just a FYI. I don't know that movie. Madonna is going nuts. Yes, she is. Apparently, I saw this today. There's a picture of her licking a dog bowl for 300 Trebek. Anything for attention. Do you understand this, guys? Anything for attention is what they'll do. That is their currency. That is their currency. All right. Miss Polska is such a great friend. He recently forgave $50 I owe him. Polska's a good dude. So if you and your ex had kids closer to 40, would you still have gotten divorced? Probably. I don't recommend having kids when you're like closer to 40. We started at 27. Our daughter was born. We were both 27. Men guarding their own wallets. Well said, Timmy. It's bitter due to all females We're hip to the game. Plus, remember, lots of boys were fatherless, and the mother taught the son to be like the man she wants him to be. Well said, Jerron. Sons were never taught the game. Well said, Jerron Markel from Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. Tom Likas has said Madonna hit the wall 2 decades ago. He said that in 03. So that would have been 83 when Like a Virgin came out. Madonna does not like being old. Helen Mirren accepts it. Well said, brother. Well said. I wouldn't have kids either. Not today, you know, and it's not that I don't love kids. I don't love what society has made fathers into. I just came from leaving the restaurant Waffle House. I felt at home there for a reason. Maple syrup for 300 Trebek. Jennifer Aniston has done a part naked photo shoot to keep the delusion going for a population of 49ers. I talked about that, PH, the other day, how Yahoo is pushing these post-50 women as young and hot. The narrative, remember, guys, beware of the narrative. Parr says the whole narrative, let's get rich so that you can get a girlfriend, is ridiculous. Even when you have the money, you still have to lie to women and feed them a fantasy. Good point. Great point. Men are using money to trick women that they're cool, or they think that'll do it. Again, relationships are going to go the same way. Female nature versus male nature. Great, you have money. She's into it for the money. Kids are a financial trap. Yes, and he did say that in, I remember listening to Likas when he said all those things. A friend of mine was in Thailand. He spent 4 weeks looking for a wife there. He came back saying they're all 304s. Traditional female doesn't exist even in those countries, says Jedi Dark Force. Risk and rewards of foreign women as well, guys. Don't get Gray divorced. What if Jawara getting divorced right now? He's got these huge contracts for his books. He's got some good income coming in. And he had to go through a divorce, giving up half of his stuff. Don't do it. Cowboy, you're just a big-ass kid. MGTOW cowboy. I love kids so much is why I wouldn't have any. I don't want them living through what we're going through. Well said, MGTOW forever. Well said. Yeah, you don't want them going through it. People ask me all the time, would you do it again? If there was a time machine in 1996, I'd jump in it. It's not that I don't love my kids. I don't want them to experience a divorced family. And that weighs on me still. Aniston trying to be 23 again. She was great, man, when she was in Office Space. And she was cute. But she's aged better than most women in her age group, but she's still aged. Will things just continuously decline for the rest of our lives? Will things ever get better? Pharaoh Phoenix, good to have you. Tell me where you're from. Will things get better? They'll only get better in your thoughts and your belief and your life. How about that? When you really truly understand the government, religion, employment, relationships, and you look at life through those red pills, then you can have a good life. But as far as relationship dynamics, I don't think they're ever getting better. And I think our government is whacked, and I think that the trajectory of the United States moving forward is also whacked. She can go out there, make dumb mistakes, and she expects the man to come clean up her mess. And if he doesn't, he's insecure and misogynistic. They always remove themselves from being accountable. Accountability for 300 Trebek. Jawara was domestic, gotcha, or silenced. The children now belong to the state. Father's completely disempowered. Don't play the game. Well said, PH. I felt that. The state is the father. It's hard to accept that your ex takes your kids like nothing. By monkey branching, I need justice and know a God will prevail. Yeah, they use the courts to enforce what they want, guys, and the authorities. I can't get married or have kids based on what I've experienced. Female nature is dangerous. I wouldn't call it dangerous. I would call it risky. It is who they are. They're not going to change. Good to have you from the UK. We got some UK folks in here. Awesome. Pharaoh Phoenix. Rad, did you hear that AOC recently stated in an interview she feels constantly afraid to walk outside? I wonder why. Despite her newly minted millionaire. Yeah. How did she get rich? And get the emotionals, I call them, those that use their feelings over facts. The emotionals are everywhere. They're young, they're old, they drink wine, box wine, they have cats, the emotionals. And the facts are in front of them, but their feelings, AOC. She does have a nice rack, I'll tell you that. I couldn't imagine giving up a home or two or three. Well, look at Brandon Trueblood gave up 2 homes. Who else? Father Saunders gave up 2 homes. Now Aniston is, she's telling everyone she can't have kids. No, Brad Pitt wanted kids. She wouldn't give it up. Those men are called cleanup men. That's why Brad Pitt left her. He wanted kids and he got with a wacko. Winnie Cooper, she still looks good. Well said, John Markell. You know who still looks good? Wonder Woman. Even though she's in her 70s, she has aged beautifully, gracefully. We do remember our veteran. My brother's a veteran. These 1 in a million good-looking 50-year-olds being promoted as the typical 50-year-old American to sell products to 40. That's all it is. The Gwyneth Paltrows, the Anistons, the Demi Moores. They're trying to say that 50 is the new 10. My 57-year-old buddy now lives with his mom. He got cleaned out after his second divorce. He now doesn't believe in marriage, but he's also broke. Could you imagine that? 57. Being broke. I tell him, Timmy, start trucking. Like Brandon Trueblood. Get him trucking. The Unstoppable Force is also in the UK. Jeremy Bailey's in the UK. George P's in the UK. We got some good folks. In terms of relationships, in my opinion, other countries have hope, but the USA has already lost. And it's going that way in other countries. I mean, Mexico is still macho. A lot of South and Central American countries are still, but you're dealing with 304s. You're dealing with the tension as their currency. You're dealing with hypergamy. Politician in New York became a millionaire, kind of explains itself. Hey guys, if you want to make millions, become a politician. Why does he not believe in marriage for 300? Because marriage is, you're handcuffed. Christy Brinkley still looks good. Yeah, I think she still looks good too. There's some women that have aged good. FJT, our in-house Giga Chad, had to stop playing my guitar to tune in. Go learn, FJT, go learn Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy on the guitar. It's fun. If you can play it quick. She does have a nice rack. Did the 49ers have a shot this year? They're going to be the first, as Coach Greg Adams say, to get a female coach. Brandon Trueblood is a really smart dude. He has his master's. He was wearing overalls when I first met him. Yeah, dude, when I met Trueblood, he came out in his overalls going through trucking school. What will the world be like in 2150? I don't. If there is a world, it'll probably be sticks and stones then, right? America Stiville. Jennifer Connelly has aged well. I would agree with that statement. I had a big crush on Ashley Judd like 25 years ago. She has not aged well. She's a liberal, flaming, mouthy feminist. Females always have to tell other girls how good they look even when they're ugly. Yeah, you see that on social media. Oh, you're so pretty. No, you're not. You're ugly as dog meat. You're like a nose tackle. Got to get back. It's daylight burning. Have a good one. See you later, Stone. But at the same time, I'm enjoying my peace, quiet, and freedom. It's wonderful by going my own way. I'm my captain of my ship, says Ed. Yeah, we are the pilots of our plane. We get to decide where we fly, with who, when, and how. Isn't that great? PH, if you got wiped out by 2, you might as well go for the 3rd. You got nothing to lose. We call that hitting the barrel, hitting the bottom for 300 Trebek. Got a condo in DR now 10 years. Travel also to South America. Here's a pic of me and my main woman in the DR. I'm 60. She's 28. There you go, brother. Sloan. I bone more snap in my 50s than all decades combined. Hey, just be safe out there. That's how we talk about it. Good to see you, Sloan. Times have changed and times are strange. Mama, I'm coming home. Isn't that the truth? Times have changed and times are strange. Draw needs to send me some more videos of him playing the keys. When you painted in the 90s, did you guys use a brush or some sort of spray gun? We used spray. We didn't hand brush it. I mean, you brush, you use the brush for the cut-ins or whatnot, but we would take the windows and spray the hell out of it. Some people will brush it. By 2030, I believe approaching women will be a thing buried in history, and everyone will meet each other through apps. I think it's happening today. Marry a rich woman. The Dominican all day, Puerto Plata. Just go and see. You know what? I encourage men to go to other countries to watch female nature, and then you'll come back with a very different experience and say, you know what? I thought they were going to be submissive and lined up 100 in line to want to be with me. Beautiful women that were virgins. Yeah. Most of those women have kids, if not one, but two, and they're not healthy. We'll say that. Jodie Foster. I used to listen to a band in the 80s called Jodie Foster's Army, or JFA. They were a punk band. Jodie Foster, never a fan of her. She just always had that masculine look and the way she talked. I never liked how she talked. It was always masculine. Never found her attractive. Now, Mary Stuart Masterson in Some Kind of Wonderful, she had the short, cute hair. She played drums. She had that little Mini Cooper, Austin Mini. Oh, man, I was in love with her. I was in love with Farrah Fawcett, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter. Oh, Linda Carter. And I'm not a Marianne guy. I'm Ginger. I thought Ginger was sexy as hell. I also like Madonna. I thought Madonna was hot. Who else? Christy Brinkley, Cindy Crawford. Who's the chick from German that did Germany? Claudia Schiffer. Oh, jeez. You kidding me? Who's the one that married Tommy Lee? That was in with Lee Majors. And then she went crazy. I think she married Richie Sambora too. What's her name? Some countries still do medical exams for virginity. Iraq is one. Sex is illegal without a marriage. Interesting. Well, I bet they stay together more too. I bet they stay. I think PH is laying it down. He's spitting out some truth. This is a message for all the chameleons in the chat. Just remember, before you part your lips and say a guy is ugly, 95% of your beauty is wiped away with a wet one. Speaking of that, I was watching makeup transformation videos and shorts. Oh my gosh. Some of the ugliest nose tackles have converted and transformed into literally the deception of makeup, and what they can do today is out of control. Well said, Ron Markel. All of that is wiped away by a wet one for 300 Trebek. A wet wipe for the war paint. Claudia Schiffer. Oh, man, was she not hot? I think she still looks good. MGTOW forever. But that's sexist. Where are all the female protesters? Pamela Anderson looked great too back in the day. I mean, who else was she with in those days too? Jasmine Bleeth, Carmen Electra. Man, she was an ultra 304. Unvaccinated pro Gentile MGTOW is in the house. Good to see you. Women at 30 years old be like, I'm done being 304. I want a millionaire to marry. Oh, no, you don't. Little do they know they've hit the wall and that will never happen again. Oh, no, you don't. America DeVille. Scary as shizzle. I don't care what happens. Jodie Foster in the movie Taxi Driver was a cutie. I don't remember her in that one. That's why blank is the choice of women in these countries protects their virginity. Interesting. Heather Locklear. That's right, Mysterio. Young Liza Minnelli. Okay. Heather Locklear. None of you guys better have any pink pussy hat. You guys have been great. Don't forget about Elizabeth Hurley. Yes. And wasn't her boyfriend, Hugh, whoever, cheated on her with some ugly prostitute. Man. But maybe she wasn't putting out. You never know. She was like 50. You know who's really attractive from like the Ford? There's a movie that Frank Capra did. It's a Wonderful Life. I watch it every year at Christmas time with Jimmy Stewart. The woman that played his wife, I thought she was gorgeous. Very classy woman in It's a Wonderful Life, 80 years ago. Gerald Montagna is back. Good to see Gerald. gracing us with his presence. Rad is speaking facts. I'm hearing more and more guys getting heartbroken or robbed by foreign Nawals. Imagine traveling across the world for a chick just to get your heart broken. You know what? And I tell this all the time. People, you get with ladies, and yeah, I would never. I've met some, but you don't get with them because they are waiting for you. You are a fish in a barrel to them. You are literally putting your life in danger. I don't even think these females know what makeup is. Aborted babies are caking up your pores. There's some red pill truth for your ass. Well said, Jerome Markel. We can always expect Jerome Markel to lay it down to Chinatown. Elizabeth Hurley. Got a little crush on Elizabeth Hurley. McTell forever. Thanks for I only did it, I think, a half hour in advance. Mysterio sent me a message saying if I was going to go do something today. I said, you know what? I had an idea. I need to capitalize on it. Tomorrow I'm not doing anything. That's it. That's it, man. Traveling to get robbed. Jamie Gertz from the Lost Boys, unvaccinated. Going back old school with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Weren't they the Lost Boys? They're getting trained by Carly B. This twerking, this makeup, the way they all act, look the same. Why? It's not attractive. There's nothing that separates them. The makeup. Can you imagine kissing a woman today? She was hot, MGTOW forever. Can you imagine kissing a woman today? Literally swallowing 6 ounces of powder and makeup and mascara and lip gloss and the nastiest crap. Go watch one of these videos they've done. I don't care if you're red pill or MGTOW. If you're anti-soy boy, you're okay in my book. Oh, I can't stand the soy boys or the emotionals. Rick Ocasek from the Cars. His ex or widow Paulina is a model, can't accept the wallet, and talked about it recently. She looked great when he married her, but I agree. I think I read that. Unvaccinated says Instagram was destroyed and brainwashed women. Isn't that the truth? You are so right. Yeah, baby. Elizabeth Hurley. Austin Powers is good. These countries make women protect their virginity or they don't get married or dowry status. What about those that try to go back to the virgin state and have that surgery? Like, really? You've had a lot of Chinese women chasing you as recently as 2015. I just couldn't trust them because of their ulterior motive. Yeah. If they're chasing you and they're foreign, there's a motive there, folks. Doesn't take a degree in physics to figure that out. John Boston, the legendary John. Hi, Rad. Didn't see you went live. I was listening to Freaky Jersey, and he's speaking the truth. If you guys want to listen, and I brought this up multiple times, go to Freaky Jersey Tales channel and listen to all the voicemails, and they're from all over. Philippines. I think there's a Muslim girl. There's a Spanish girl. There's a Central American girl. And they leave them voicemails. Just listen to them. Good to see you, John. Even Brad Pitt failed. Even Schwarzenegger. Nailing that ugly chick because I guarantee Schwarzenegger was not getting affection from his wife. The song WAP grossed me out. They're all listening to it, brother. And you know what? Joe Biden talked about the lyrics. Like, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm not a prude, but that is disgusting to hear her talk about a wet ass box. Paulina said, John, we're just talking about all this stuff, John. We're talking about Mary Stuart Masterson, Farrah Fawcett, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter, all the hotties. Hall of Famers not good enough, says Jawara. Ain't that the truth? Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick. Oh, okay. Which one? Oh, wait. Interview with the Vampire. That's what I'm thinking. Twerking, fake hair, big ass, and a body count the size of New York City. Transit system, you call yourself Queens. It ran through more times than a Holland tunnel, right? I'm taking that from Coach Craig Adams. So did Tom Brady. Just uploaded a new one. I got to check that out. Everybody run to FJTs after this. Rad, are your sons paying child support yet? No. My boys don't have girlfriends, and my daughter is too entitled to find a boy. Elizabeth Hurley, smoking hot and bedazzled as the devil. Also a good statement of dating a society. You can have anything you want, and it only costs your soul. That's the truth today. 3 men I know have been hosed by Thai women. Funny, all these guys had decent money, and women targeted them. If they're coming after you, They want something. And you know what they want. I think Brad Pitt gets chicks solely based on his genetics. I think so too. Certified quality. In the house, good to see you. Most celebrities don't last in their relationships. They don't. Tell me where you're from. Having some soy boys in the world can work, but when the majority in this world just falls apart, Earth needs real men. Well said, Pars. The WAP for 300, Trebek. Ooh, we got another New Yorker. I'm from Ozone Park, Queens, New York. Well, Gerard Markell is from Brooklyn. They should meet up. Tom Brady was not good enough. Bucks or 49ers. Now, pro football is just, everything pro is just soured on me now. I don't even care. So, SEO Social, Freaky Jersey Tales. Someone needs to link it up there. Where are you from, brother? Absolutely. Check out FJT's site. Do you know Oscar from Sesame Street realized that he's not voting Democrat because he's still living in the trash can? Oscar for 300, Trebek. I liked him when he lived in the trash can. That's funny, John. Tom Brady had no faith in his marriage lasting. Reportedly, he had a prenup. You guys know that they know that they're getting divorced. All these guys know. Right? SEO Social. Thank you. Thanks for being here, brother. Tom Brady, man, if it happened, to goat of all time. Manasseh's in the house. Much love from Long. I've got some New Yorkers in the house. Good to see you, brother. I don't remember where you guys are from. Fat Ugly Man won't beauty contest. I saw that, right? He turned into a woman, right? Rad, my daughter asked me about everything because they know when they screw up, dads find out, and then they learn a painful experience. Do people say you're abusive and controlling? That's what they say about me, John. Tom Brady is a game planner. That's why he knows what up. I guarantee he had some good people around him that said, it ain't going to work out. She's too entitled and attention hungry. Save Big Bird. Was Big Bird red pill or blue pill or Skittles? All professional sports cucked out to the leftist agenda. David Smith. Well said, brother. The heart of Oregon. I grew up in Beaverton. Left Beaverton, Portland, Washington County when I was 41 years old. I know. What part of Oregon? The heart of Oregon. Salem? We're talking Portland. Monica Lewinsky is a Republican because the Democrats left a bad taste in her mouth. Yes, sir, Bob. 75% of the population votes say the country is in the wrong location, yet Democrats win. Sounds like ballot box stuffing once again. 2,000 mules for 300, Trebek. Oh, yeah. Guys, we're never going to see America again before 2016. It's over. Get your life in order. Be strong. Understand the pill. The red pill is also a government pillar, a religious pillar, an economical pillar, a relationship pillar, a court pillar. Be very, very careful. Ms. Irrelevant, Monica Lewinsky. Man, she was ugly too. Can Bill Clinton not get a hot chick? All of them were just dog meat. They had weird noses, fat, big booties, like big ugly bottoms, penises, fupas. Guess who he married? Bill Clinton. It's like that dude. He gets every woman with an. He got them all with the ugly stick. They all got hit bad with the ugly stick. You guys, you and Certified need to hook up. You guys. My ex said I'm controlling with the kids. I said, well, someone needs to set them straight, give them direction. Funny how she didn't respond. That's exactly how mine was. November 12th, same as November 8th. Correct. Oh, you're from Eugene, Springfield. You spent a lot of time out in Cottage Grove, which is down I-5, and Florence. We've been sandboarding, but I love Eugene. It was the first place I went when I was skateboarding in a competition downtown in Eugene, and I saw a couple of hippie chicks that were hot as hell using a handrail to pleasure themselves. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just never want to leave this area. But Eugene is full of flaming libs. Odd question: has anyone eaten white rice with grape jelly? No. But what's the difference between a waffle cone and ice cream? Seems to be on par with the exact same, or chicken and waffles. Bulldog mindset: blame Brady for not acting good enough for Gisele. Not a big fan of the Bulldog. He has he's got some decent points, but I'm not a big fan of him. I don't watch him. More power to him. But he's definitely had a very different go of it. Probably hot to him compared to Hillary. Yeah, you might be right, brother. Trucker walks into a brothel. Madam says, we have the most beautiful ladies within 200 miles. Trucker says, I will take your ugliest girl and a cold dinner. I'm not horny. I'm homesick. That's great. This has been a great stream, you guys. Get out and do your stuff. Peace, quiet, and freedom. They done all hit the wall. And I'll go out with grape jelly for 300 Trebek. And I'll say this to Mysterio: do you watch Donovan or Rollo? No. And the problem I have with those guys, it's not a problem. They're pushing something. I mean, there's certain things about Cooper does have some decent stuff. I think I watched him a while back, but not as big into him. I don't watch Rollo really. I did read Rational Mail. I'm not a Donovan Shark. Everything about he does. He's like a littler version. He's a geriatric version of Fresh and Fit, and but he does. I mean, he does talk about ladies, but he's never been in a court. He's never had kids. He's never been through a divorce. He doesn't understand a lot of things. And if he's such an alpha, I don't understand his girlfriend being that age. I would figure he would have, being 44, have a 28-year-old. That's all. Us purebloods passed the biggest life test when it came to that fake virus. Yep. Beautiful Life says those guys are in relationships. Beautiful Life from Laguna Beach. Yeah, and they are in relationships. Beautiful Life. Rollo, he does not. There's some good things about everybody. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. It's just everybody has some pieces of truth. The issue, I like guys like Big John. Big John had been through a divorce. He has kids. He understands hypergamy. He was cheated on. So there's a lot of things similar to. I think he's 2 years older than me. I liked a lot of his stuff because I could relate. Now, younger guys might relate with Fresh and Fit. Young guys that have never been married that had a girlfriend might relate with Donovan Sharp. So it's all. Don't shoot the messenger. I do find I'm not a big fan of hypocrisy, and I think there's some hypocrisy in some of these content creators' message. But if you can remove the message from the messenger, that's probably a good thing. And I agree with AD. PUA is garbage. Don't spend your money on that crap. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Donovan's woman, I don't find her attractive. I just don't find her attractive for me. 10 courses for $3.99. I just can't believe guys that are falling for that crap. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we should be helping men, not profiting off men. Now, if you're out putting up 30 hours a week in videos, great. And you feel like you want to contribute, great. But when you're asking for it all the time, not cool. I'm not a big fan of guys asking for it. Mocking hoes through hypnosis for $9.99. Polska, shaking your fist at the trade. You guys have been great. Jason Reed, Big John was the man. James Miller, I'd miss him too. Check him out on The Prepared Mind. I like his stuff. He's in that prepper stuff. But you guys are great. Remember, it's a bitter pill at first, but when you truly understand the strengths and the value you can get out of it, you'll wish you took 100 of those pills. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first.